Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not joking. This could be the most interesting, I wouldn't say important news you've heard all day, but this could be the most intriguing news that you've heard all day. Tell everybody you know. Well, you don't have to, actually, but it's actually really interesting. This is Raw Story, February 20th, 2020. Raw Story wrote a hit piece on me when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, and when I became a Trump supporter, and when I began defending the Second Amendment rights we all have, they then wrote a hit piece on me, of course. So you can't win with Raw Story. I call them the discarded bubblegum of journalism. But here, Adam Schiff sends signal that a Roger Stone pardon would be another impeachable offense. This is a wonderful headline. Adam Schiff sends signal that a Roger Stone pardon would be another impeachable offense. I am serious, and I am reading this. They are going to impeach President Trump again. I would say they'll impeach him twice. And I wouldn't. You have to understand something. They're going to make it so absurd. They're going to make it so bizarre, almost like we're living in an alternate universe, which is what they want. They want the will and the spirit of the average American to just be crushed, even if they like Trump. This isn't about, policy or trying to defeat President Trump in terms of a debate or ideology. This is about, it's a great economy. This is fantastic. Wonderful economy, record low unemployment, 5 million people lifted out of poverty in 3 years, 6 million jobs created in 3 years compared to 8.9 million in 8 years. President Trump is on his way to shattering President Obama's job creation numbers. Household median income up. GDP up. We can go on forever. First president to step foot in North Korea. He's reversing 16 years of failed foreign policy. They don't care about that. They don't even want Medicare for all. They don't want any of that stuff. They're just trying to, with Bernie Sanders and AOC and that whole thing's being fractured beyond all repair, beyond belief. They just want all the progressive votes to be funneled back into the Democratic Party. Hillary Clinton will be the nominee. She knows a little bit more about politics. You can say what you like about Madam Secretary. At this point right now, she's the front runner. She's running the show. Nobody on that debate stage yesterday has a chance against Trump. That's why they're going to impeach him again. But here, Representative Adam Schiff suggested that a presidential pardon for Roger Stone would be an impeachable offense. This is Raw Story today. Judge Amy Berman Jackson sentenced the longtime Republican operative to 40 months in prison, saying Stone had lied to Congress and threatened a witness to cover up possible wrongdoing by President Donald Trump. And Schiff sent a warning against a pardon. Roger Stone was found guilty of lying to Congress and threatening a witness. So, the threatening a witness part, that's they really stretched that whole issue. But Roger Stone couldn't even hurt a fly. You put Roger Stone, let's put it this way. If it was Roger Stone versus a stuffed animal, the stuffed animal would win. He's not going to intimidate or threaten or physically hurt anyone. Okay? Then when they got him, he didn't even own firearms. Their whole thing is he is so not a threat to, and not that anyone, if you own firearms legally, like I do, you have to have a pristine record. Because you can't, they do background check, federal and state background checks on you. But the thing is, he would have no chance to hurt anyone. Okay? Even if, God forbid, they were breaking into his home, heaven forbid. He couldn't defend himself with the Second Amendment. The guy is not, I don't know if he's a lover, but he's certainly not a fighter. And so then you have the issue of lying to Congress. Well, guess who else lied to Congress? How about Hillary Clinton? Well, Hillary Clinton lied beyond, the server was not, she lied to the FBI, as did all of them. But the FBI didn't care. James Comey lied and said that that he didn't exonerate Clinton, so he lied to Congress. He didn't exonerate Clinton until after the interview. Of course, he had written the letter exonerating her or whatever, clearing her. There was no exoneration. He had written the letter prior to the interview. So you have he had written the letter prior to the interview of Hillary Clinton with Peter Strzok. Then you have the issue of let's see, so many. James Clapper lied to Congress under oath with intent to deceive regarding spying, domestic spying. John Brennan lied to Congress regarding infiltrating, spying on the Senate. And he got away with it. So it's all subjective. This is all subjective. During the Clinton email probe, they even found people who lied. Okay, they found one person who lied in particular regarding the whole thing. They let that person go. Okay, you're talking about Peter Strzok, who said, "We will stop Trump." Literally says, "We will stop." You're talking about the forewoman of the jury who ran as a Democrat. It was never a fair trial. You're talking about a FISA applications that contain 17 examples of deliberately falsified statements. None of this is by accident, but here, they used the dossier to set up and frame Trump. One of the lies that James Comey said, well, we viewed it as raw intelligence. Then he lied to, it was Congressman Kennedy, when he said that, well, do you know if Uma and her husband viewed any classified material? And then he goes, well, did you interview Anthony Weiner? He said, well, we did. We haven't, sir. Something to the effect he was about to. He contradicted himself. But anyway, I can actually get you that clip in a second. But they want to impeach Trump now. If he pardons Roger Stone, which he will eventually. Roger Stone was found guilty of lying to Congress and threatening a witness. Schiff, who led the impeachment inquiry and trial, agreed with Jackson, whose language echoed the lawmakers' corrupt scheme and cover-up. There was no cover-up. If there was a cover-up, then why didn't they list a crime within the Articles of Impeachment? The Articles of Impeachment did not list a crime. So the Articles of Impeachment did not list a crime. Why is that? Why is that? Why didn't the Articles of Impeachment list a crime? There's a reason for that. Okay, hold on. There's a reason for that because there was no crime. The whole thing was a bunch of nonsense. And they had to fabricate everything. They couldn't I'm trying to find that clip for you. They couldn't find anything. So what they did was they said, okay, we can't even get him on obstruction of justice, which is a legal statute. We can't get him on anything to do with the Mueller probe because the IG report completely upended the notion that, the IG report completely upended the notion that it was all fair and there were no political games. The whole thing was a political stunt and ploy to set up and frame Trump. So they said, well, we're going to impeach him, and we're simply going to say that he abused his power and he obstructed Congress. These are subjective. These are subjective allegations, like Nick DiPaolo said, allegations. These are all subjective. There's no way to prove that President Trump withheld military assistance because he was afraid of Biden. We know that to be absurd now. The notion that he was afraid of Biden when Biden has zero chance now to become nominee, none of them do. It's going to be Hillary Clinton. But we know that it's all nonsense. Let's just hear. Sorry, this is really okay. So, we know that it's all nonsense. But they want to impeach. They want to impeach Trump again. And here, George Conway, we might have to impeach Trump again. They're serious about impeaching Trump again. Like, it's not, this is George Conway, here. Lofted, the president refrained from committing an impeachable. So America beware, the state is Trump, and he is very, very angry. We might indeed have to impeach it. We might indeed have to do it again. They live in a world where Trump is this monster that they have to just, wrestle with this monster and keep him at bay. Because, my God, and Roger Stone, he obstructed an investigation. No, he didn't. They haven't even explained how he stopped anything to do from they haven't explained how he obstructed the Mueller probe. So they got him on lying to Congress about something that has nothing to do with Russia collusion. They're saying that he contacted WikiLeaks. Okay. Because he wanted to find out information about the DNC emails. He got no information about the DNC emails. Nobody knows how the DNC emails were obtained. Assange is not being indicted on working with Russia. No American and no Australian and no European has ever been indicted on working with Russia. Nobody has. Actually, nobody has been indicted on working with Russia. The only people indicted were Russian intelligence officials, and they have no evidence other than a CrowdStrike assessment. And the United States government never obtained the DNC servers. The servers were looked at and by CrowdStrike, and they took images of the servers, and it said that this is not only a conflict of interest, it's absurd. They said they believe, they're confident, such judgments might be wrong. Check the description section of every one of my segments. I list the actual disclaimer in James Clapper's Director of National Intelligence report, where they say, well, our judgments could be wrong, but we're pretty confident. They're not certain of anything. They're not certain. The only thing that they're honest about is that they're not certain of anything. But the DNC emails, nobody knows how they were obtained. Nobody's ever been indicted or charged with on working with Russia. And the notion that Roger Stone obstructed an investigation that found no crime. So the initial allegation was that Trump worked with Russia. That would be under U.S. Code 371, 18 U.S. Code 371, the statute that applies more to James Comey and Andrew McCabe, like I write about in The Federalist. But he didn't work with Russia. They couldn't find anything. And lying to Congress did not cover up anything pertaining to Trump and Russia, because there was no Trump in Russia. You might as well have said that Roger Stone trying to hide the fact that Trump and Martians were working with one another. Okay? Never happened. So they want to impeach Trump again. Why? Because that's all they can do. That's just what they're about. They just want to impeach Trump. They just can't stand him. They can't stand him. That's it. They just can't stand him. That's it. And they don't care. And they don't care if it hurts the country. They don't care if they put people through the same nonsense over and over again. As long as they have, the ability to shape a narrative that he must go. There's no way he can stay. He has to go. He can't. He can't continue as president. He's pardoning people who should be rotting in jail. See, they're actually, you'd think Democrats would be for criminal justice reform. They're not. Or at least you think that Democrats wouldn't be salivating at the prospect of somebody going to jail for no crime. He didn't commit a crime that, there was nothing Roger Stone did aside from criminal acts pertaining to an investigation. He never worked with Russia. He never did anything illegal with Trump. So there you go. Roger Stone should be pardoned. He should be pardoned. And The fact that Democrats are taking, such pleasure in Roger Stone being indicted or something, they are so they're so pathetic. It's unbelievable. They're so pathetic. It's unbelievable. But here, let me just leave you with this, Brennan. We do intelligence, not evidence. Okay, so here, fine. Okay, here we go. Let me just leave you with this, okay? This is exactly how John Brennan started in 2017. They began the Mueller probe with the following, okay? They began the Mueller probe with the following. Check this out, okay? Oh, Lord.
Did you find direct evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Putin in Moscow while you were there?
Mr. Rooney, I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence throughout the course of my career.
I don't do evidence. I do intelligence. This is a gigantic charade. And the smartest people, the people who think they're the smartest people in the room, are trusting these corrupt intelligence officials who, by the way, are not there for life. There will be new intelligence officials, and Trump has already wrestled control of the intelligence community away from Democrats. He's going to win again. Who do you think they're going to give their allegiance to? Democrats during Trump's second term, when the Democratic Party is smoldering in a dumpster fire that's seen from outer space? No. But listen, check this out.
Did you find direct evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Putin in Moscow while you were there?
Mr. Rooney, I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence throughout the course of my career. As an intelligence professional, what we try to do is to make sure that we provide all relevant information.
Okay, he is telling you that he doesn't care about evidence. Intelligence to these people is subjective. This is not, you're not dealing with a scenario where there's a war, okay? The Defense Intelligence Agency does. But other than that, the Brennan, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Clapper, all of these people were involved in simply trying to remove Trump or trying to make his life as difficult as possible. They used a dossier where Brennan can't even say it's evidence, it's intelligence. It could be evidence. It could not be evidence. It's just information. You do what you want with this information. That's what he's saying. He's saying, well, it possibly could. Could you imagine the same definition of intelligence when it comes to Clinton and how she was able to transfer top secret and special access program intel onto servers outside of the United States government? Give me your thoughts below. So I wanted to give you a clip of James Comey lying to Congress, and there are numerous clips. I couldn't find the one that I wanted where he's talking about Uma Abedin, and but he lied about that too. They didn't make the whole thing was such a scam and charade and farce, just like the Democratic primary. Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. All of this benefits Clinton. Doesn't benefit Biden or Bloomberg or anyone, or Bernie. Okay. Raw story. Adam Schiff sends signal that a Roger Stone pardon would be another impeachable offense. Give me your thoughts below. This is February 20th, 2020. I'm not making it up. That's the Raw Story article. Give me your thoughts. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. I have a great segment up. Thank you.